Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to week 9 of the Fantasy Bullies. That's what I've named our group. I'm going with it. I don't know if that fits, but I'm going with it. So, all right. A little bit late on the podcast, but better late than never. We've got a lot that happened. I actually did like a correct. Okay, so one of my hypotheticals came true, and so we'll go over some of that. I'm gonna beat a dead horse a little bit more. I'm gonna go over my weekly hoe, and then we're gonna look forward into this next week's matchups. All right, let's dive right into it. Dude, everything that I said that could have happened. So now we've got one, two, three, four, five, six teams that are 4-4. Crazy. So and the crazy part is there could be so much movement that happens based off of matchups this next week. So I was looking through and I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Obviously, points count, but record means the most at first. And so I was like, all right, let's look through here. Let's see like what could happen. Here are some what ifs. 8th place. Let's see who's in 8th. Dre, the main bully, could go from 8th to 4th in the span of 1 week. If Dre wins, Eric loses. It doesn't matter who loses there. If Jason wins, and then if I win, Dre could jump from 8th to 4th. Also, same thing with 9th place. Whitney could jump from, which is crazy, from 9th place to 4th in the span of 1 week. Okay, this is why I like when things are super close. Is we could have someone like that's second to last go into 4th place, comfortable playoff position, and then alternatively, we also could have 3rd place Nate. If Nate loses, if Whitney wins, Poppy wins, either one of those two wins, Austin wins, Nate could go from 3rd place down to 7th place. He could be in comfortable, like just sniffing that bye week, all the way down to you're out of playoffs, which is crazy. So this week already started with a boring Thursday night. I didn't even watch it. With a boring Thursday night game. None of my players were going, so I didn't care. But yeah, this is the crazy part where like everybody is in it. Even Jason way down here is in it. He is only 2 games off. We've got, what do we play? 14 games. Oops. I've got a mouse that like it's inverted, so when I scroll up, it goes down. Yeah, week 14 is the last week. Yeah, because then it's playoffs. So 14 weeks. We're in week 9. So we've got, if I can do my math right here, we've got 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks left. So you've got 6 weeks, Jason, to catch up to 6th place, which is Mr. Slappy Pappy. Speaking of Mr. Sloppy Poppy, so I thought I'm gonna beat a dead horse some more because I'm gonna keep on beating the dead horse until the horse dies. It is absolutely asinine that Whitney is in 9th place while leading the points. This is exactly what we were talking about, and I'm gonna keep beating this dead horse until you get it through your thick skull brains. 969 points. And I was thinking, okay, I was like, okay, should I compare her team to like maybe mine points wise? And I'm like, no, I'm going to pick 6th place because 6th place was the team that we decided that was, okay, we proposed, or Dre, I think, proposed, and I was one of the supporters of Oh wait, sixth place should be based off of total points or some other metric other than record because we want the best teams to be in playoffs. So I'm gonna compare, and it happens to just be Mr. Sloppy Poppy, the snake. Um, so what I did was I broke down Eric's average points per week. If you break his points down, divided by 8 weeks that we've fully played, 106 points. The difference between Whitney and Eric's team in points is 120, meaning Eric just, if he does his average 106 every week, literally Whitney could bench her whole team and Eric still will not catch her in points, going based off average. This is why. This is why I'm going to keep beating this dead horse. I've shot the horse. I've beat the horse. The horse is not dead until my point has come across. Jeez. Furthermore, I actually did compare Whitney's team to my team. So I went through and I'm like, all right, this is crazy. Like, obviously her team is absolutely killing it. And yeah, we've gone through some buys and there's been some injuries, some pickups, but if you look at the leaderboard, you go QBs, Whitney's third. Compare it to mine. I've had Drake May. Honestly, I haven't played Drake May very much. I've played Dak Prescott more. And I was like, okay, I'm going to compare myself because I'm in second. I tried comparing to Paul, but Paul's actually, his team's, he's got a lot of. But okay, so I'm barely ahead of her, but if you look at the quarterback that I've really been playing, like my quarterback's way down here, her quarterback's way up here. Wide receiver. Again, this is one of the guys that I haven't really been playing too much. And then you've got Whitney at 4 and 5. I put 3 and 4, obviously I can't count. 4 and 5. And then you look at my next person, Justin Jefferson, way down here. And then Garrett Wilson, yeah, he's only played 6 games, but he's also way down there. And then if you also look at her other... Sorry, my dogs are barking. She also has... oh, he's up here. Isn't he? Roma Dunze, who's played 7 games. 7 games, 8 teams above him have played 8 games. He's above my number 2. Like, so she's got 3 wide receivers ahead of my wide receiver number 1. Tight end, she has at 7, mine's at 4, but so no reason to really look at that. Hold on, I gotta do a little timeout here. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Going back. Going over to her running backs. My running backs are just like, my running backs are way 17 and 19. I'm way down here. Her running backs are 6 and 14. Oh, and I did mess up my metric. Okay, so she got James Cook, also 7 games. You know, some of these guys have 8. 8, 9. Oh, okay. Also, I gotta vent a little bit. Saquon Barkley didn't do shit. Okay, he has been doing a little bit, but I'm sitting there Sunday morning. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get Saquon Barkley. The Giants have a pretty good defensive front. Dude, his first play rips off 20 plus. Like the first 20 plus rushing game that he's had. It was just like one of those things where it's like, all right, this is how, like, you kind of get a feeling of how your week's gonna go pretty quickly. I mean, it doesn't always turn out, but like the way you expect. But I looked at him and that instant first play touchdown. I'm like, I'm gonna lose this week. And then like every single one of his players scored a touchdown. My players really didn't perform very well, so I'm not. I mean, obviously, I don't want to lose, but it was kind of like one of those things. Like, of course. All right, vent over. Going back, so Whitney's got running back 6 and 14. Both of those ahead of my number one running back. So besides tight end, Whitney like blows my team out of the water, and yet she's in ninth, and I'm if if playoffs ended right now, I'd have a first week bye, and that is just not acceptable. Not fair, not acceptable. It's a shame. It's an offense to this league, and moving to this next year, we need to correct it. I'll keep advocating for that. All right. Horse has been now deceased for this week until this next week when someone else absolutely destroys Whitney or their team absolutely goes off. Anyway, moving forward. I do have to issue an apology here. I was looking through and I'm like, oh dang, look at I'm like, okay, I'm 5-3, I'm second, but I'm actually getting a little nervous here because there are a lot of 4-4 teams, which means there are a lot of teams right on my heel. I am one game ahead of eighth place, which makes me a little nervous. So I'm hoping my team can pull out some better games this week. But I do have to issue. I feel like I disrespect your team a little bit, Brian. Your team's beat me in points, so hats off to you. Um, I apologize for now until my team gets ahead of yours. But I mean, let's. I know Brian is not my hoe of the week, but let's just take a quick glimpse at this. Number one quarterback, Rasheed Rice has been really highlighted since he's been back. Shakir's been the wide receiver one on that team. Yeah, you could do a little bit better on your second running back, but I gotta say, Brian's kind of put together a decent team here. Um, and he's in playoff contention. So hats off to you, Brian. And you got rid of your first round pick. The guy's like not dead. You just got rid of him. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. All right. Moving forward. My hoe of the week. My honest opinion. Okay, my plan was actually I was gonna cut a hole in a trash bag and then put it. I was gonna try to do a podcast yesterday, wear a trash bag and be like, "Hey, I'm Austin's team," but I just didn't have time. I didn't make time. So, but Austin, Mr. El Cockroach himself, this guy's been on a journey this year. If we go back to week one, I think he lost. Yeah, I barely beat him week one. He was 1-1, 1-2, 1-3. So he started off 1-3. And honestly, I just wrote the guy off. I was like, all right, he's done. He's done. 1-3. His team's not really looking good, but he's kind of been making some moves now, and he's now on. He's been 3-1 after starting 1-3. So Austin's been kind of on a tear, and I think this team's actually looking a little scary, and things have kind of fallen into place for him. You were right on the verge of playoffs here, and you've got Daniel Jones, you've got Jamar Chase, who now has Flacco. Now that's really good because Flacco just feeds him. But like, there was that one where I think he got 10 receptions or no, 16 receptions. That's crazy. Since Flacco has come in, 10, 16, 12. That's five, at minimum, 5 points added to his total yards, touchdowns right off the gate based off of volume, which is absolutely insane. And he's got a pretty good schedule coming up. Yeah, he's got the bye, not going to score any points there, obviously, but yeah, this guy's been an absolute volume beast since Flacco's come in. Um, and so Jamar Chase, although at first it was like, man, this guy looks like he's being a bust, not due to anything that he did, but because Burrow got injured. Drake London, when he's been on the field and healthy, he's been good, but that's the thing is like getting him on the field. He's battled some injury, but he can be an alpha if he's healthy. Brian Thomas, okay, I was getting a little nervous for him because Travis Hunter looked like he was starting to become featured. Travis Hunter's now on the IR. They've got no one else to throw it to. Brian Thomas, there's been some better reports coming out. Um, and then also Brees Hall, who's on the bye this week. But um, they finally found a way to kind of feature him, and there's talks about him being traded. I heard the asking price for the third round draft pick. Now, if I'm the Chiefs, I'm like third round, and I can get an alpha running back. Why wouldn't I? Like bring the guy in. You now bolster up the running, and Kareem Hunt has been relevant as a Chief. Let me say Kareem Hunt has been relevant as a running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Kareem Hunt is not what he used to be. So you bring in Brees Hall instantly, running back one. So if a trade deadline comes up this next Tuesday, so if that happens, that's going to be huge for him. Kyle Pitts has been getting some volume too. I know Penix has been really targeting him a lot. He had a pretty good game. He hasn't been doing like anything insane, but he's had like good consistent games, in my opinion. Um, Based off of volume, he's not Kyle Pitts is nothing special. And Travis Kelsey, he's been I believe he's been featured a little bit more. And with all those wide receivers, I think that opens up the game for him as well. So there are pieces here that I feel like could become a scary looking team. Now, is this a top tier team? No, I don't think so. Not at this point. But things are kind of falling into place. And picking up Daniel Jones, I think was a good pick. Got rid of Kyler Murray, who looks like he's just either going to get traded or they're going to bench him for the rest of the year. Daniel Jones, okay. Daniel Jones, in my opinion, is a perfect example. I like a perfect fit for this team. People wrote him off. I honestly wrote Austin off. I'm like, this team's done. It's not every other year. But you get Daniel Jones, give him an opportunity, comes in, the guy's slinging it, and he's winning games. And this is non-fantasy football related. I don't know why more quarterbacks don't do this, where they're like, okay, I'll take less money, and you bolster up that offensive line. I really think Daniel Jones is doing well based off of the team that's around him. That offensive line gives him time to throw, gives him time to go through his progressions. He's not getting super pressured a lot, and he's got a good running game. So I don't know why. Like, why don't other people or other quarterbacks around the league look at this and think, shoot, if Daniel Jones can be 6-1, why can't we? I just need to get paid a little bit less. Like, what's the difference between getting paid 25 million or 50 million? Like, yes, those are two completely like it's double the price, obviously. But it's like, is your lifestyle really going to be that much more different if you're getting paid 25 million versus 50 million? If it were me, I'm like, all right, I want 25 million. You bolster up that offensive line, and I want Super Bowl incentives because I want that offensive line to be good. I want to be protected, and as long as that happens, it's Tom Brady. Like, I don't know why people like it's repeated success, and I don't know why other quarterbacks don't look at Daniel Jones and be like, if that guy can do it, why can't I? I just need a good offensive line. And yes, this is like in philosophy really easy. It was one of those things where it's like easier said than done. But it's one of those things where like oh, everyone here either works at Costco or has worked at Costco. Have you ever looked at some of like the management or some of the leaders and be like, if that idiot can do that job, why can't I? I know I have a couple times like, damn, that person is such an idiot. How that man hands, for example. I'm gonna throw that out there. Why don't people look and be like, all right, if goofy ass Daniel Jones can frickin' be 6-1 because his whole offensive line is bolstered up, he has time to throw. Why can't I? Again, I don't know. Back to fantasy football. El Cockroach. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This guy does not die. You can throw a nuclear bomb at him, he will not die. Austin always seems to kind of find a way of different pickups. Speaking of the Trey Benson, I was actually looking. I was like, oh shoot, I dropped him. I should probably go back and pick him up. Sneaky good pickup, I would say. Um, this is a team. This is someone that has, and this is someone that has 4 championship rings, and I don't think we should count him out. I think we all need to be mindful of who we're dropping, including myself and Brian, mindful of who we're dropping. Because imagine Brock Bowers being thrown on this team. Now that's a top tier looking team at that point, a healthy Bowers, and you've got the number one wide receiver, two solid wide receivers to back that up, a solid wide running back one if there's trades. Ken Walker's always explosive. That's the person that you have to worry about every week is Ken Walker. Hey, I'd be happy about that. So be mindful of who we're dropping. Do not count this guy out. This Mr. El Cockroach himself, he will not die. He will not die. He's a guy that does not give up. So I don't think this is a Super Bowl winning team right now. But like I said, things have fallen into place. Jamar Chase has been put into a better situation. Drake London has got his wide receivers too, so maybe he doesn't get double teamed as much. Um, Travis Hunter got injured, so now there's more main focus on Brian Thomas. Um, the dominoes could fall to where this team is good, and this team could make a run for it. We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I don't think this is a championship level team, especially when I look at some of these other teams. We've got we've got Paul over here about to kind of run away. If I lose, he wins. He's gonna be 2 games up and leading. Like the only person he has to worry about for points is Whitney. But Whitney's 3 games behind. 3 games behind, and we have got 6 games. Paul would have to lose like 4 games, um, more than likely, assuming that Whitney's not just gonna win the rest of her games. Which I mean that's a possibility, but um, so only person for points. Like, so honestly, if I'm Paul, I'm considering myself. He's got a 2 game lead, so more chances are that I'm not gonna catch him in points over the next 3 4 weeks. Maybe if something happens to his team and my team bolsters up, I'm pretty excited about Henderson. Hopefully, I'm hoping he's going to get some more opportunity. But I don't think I'm going to catch him in points anytime soon. So if I'm Paul, I'm considering myself. I've got a 2 game lead because if I win, he loses, he's still ahead. He's still ahead in points. I'm not catching him. So and then if I lose, he wins. That's a 3 game lead. And I would, if I was Paul at that point, I'm like, I'm looking at champion or I'm looking at playoff records and I'm trying to make some trades. I don't know when our trade deadline is, but something to consider. Because if you're 3 games ahead and at that point we're 5 weeks out, unless your team completely falls apart, you probably got a first round bye. Um, I still can't believe Whitney's in ninth. It's criminal. It's absolutely criminal. And one thing I was actually looking at, and then I'm gonna cut this short. I don't know how long we've been going, but um, one thing I was looking at is Jason's got 3 players, running backs in the top 5. Okay, you got Devon Achan, who's played an extra game, but seriously, unless James Cook puts up 30 points, which that's a possibility. Well, he's 2 games ahead. Um, Saquon's not catching him. Yeah, he's got 3 of the top 5 running backs, which is crazy. One absolutely, I'm not gonna. I'll get into that maybe next week. But yeah, you're in last place, but your team's kind of coming along. One thing that I was looking at that I don't see where I was trying to look for, you got Quentin Johnson, who's been an absolute just disaster lately. He is like the only guy. Oh, and Wandale Robinson. Has he really been that good? But I don't know. If I was Jason, I'd be looking to trade away a running back, and I'd be looking to trade for a wide receiver. I mean, if you want to talk to me, come talk to me. If not, like there's other options. Obviously, there are a lot of good players out there, and um, yeah, I guess that's my suggestion. I'm sorry, this isn't a very organized podcast. I'm just winging it today, so I get something out. Um, I'm gonna say good luck to everybody. I One of my other ideas for a costume was dressing up as a tornado for Tornado Nate. Um, but I noticed at the beginning of the week, I was projected. I don't look at projections too much, but I didn't notice like I was projected to lose. But I think since Henderson is now going to be the starter, that's kind of changed. So we'll see. Um, yeah, we'll see. Good luck to everybody this week. Um, everybody's in it. Everybody's in it. Well, obviously, like if you're in, you're risking of being out, and if you're out, you got a chance to be in within a couple weeks. Everybody. So, I'm gonna say good luck to everybody. Um, we'll see what happens. I'll catch you guys at this next week. Um, yeah, I don't know. Adios. Peace out. Fuck you, Eric.